Hey guys, welcome back to the United Star. I have Atanu with me and I'm doing a video with him after very long. So, Atanu, I'm happy to see your face again. Uh, we're going to discuss what what is Ollie? Why is Ollie? Why is he? And how is Ollie? We're going to discuss about him. We're going to talk about how, the 5-0 thrashing by Liverpool should have been the game after which he gets the sack, but apparently the board showed faith in him again. Apparently, Sir Alex Ferguson also uh, was keen on showing some more, giving Ollie some more time, and that is why he remained in the job. And we had a pretty convincing win over Spurs, which in hindsight wasn't very convincing because their manager got sacked the very next day, and they got in Antonio Conte, who was rumored to be joining United.
Priyan, Ole is playing 8D chess. He he defeated Spurs when he was on the brink of getting the sack. He got the Spurs manager sacked, and the replacement of the Spurs manager is the manager who was supposed to be the replacement of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Exactly. So he managed to pull that off. We drew midweek to Atlanta, and that too again to Cristiano Ronaldo individual brilliance in the last moment. Uh, and again, we got smashed by City. Now, about the City game, I'm going to point out, I remember Paul Scholes said after the Liverpool game, or I think Paul Scholes said it, that we might not lose numerically by the same number as we lose to City as we lose to Liverpool, but it's going to be much more uh, disrespectful, if you could say it. It's going to be much more, it's going to hurt much more. And I believe that is so true. I didn't see the game. I'm going to say that honestly, but I put on the game for I think 10 minutes in the second half between the 50th and 60th minute, and I don't think we touched the ball once in the 10 minutes. And that is how horrible the performance was. City didn't have to go into third gear. They were very relaxed. They were passing the ball around. They got their goals, and they were happy to just show Oli and show United what a different level they were at, and they are at compared to us. So we come down to the same thing, Atanu. Do you think he has any future? Do you think there is any chance that he can turn it around and win us? What? Not even win us, just get us some good results.
Priyan, a few weeks back, Prasham and I did this video when I think it was after the Liverpool loss. I think I'm not sure, but we did this video where we talked about Oli, and I think I said that in that video as well that he's done everything he can. He stabilized the ship. There's no doubt about that. He has done that special thing which we wanted to do. We wanted the rebuild. He has rebuilt the club. Yeah, he's brought in this new structure. But Priyan, you also know that I might be termed as an Ole-inner when I am not. I don't like to associate with myself with that. But at the same time, I think it's very hard to. I think it's very hard to defend Oli right now. He's not done anything that's worth. You can't actually defend Oli right now, and I think all it comes down to is that he is picking those same players which are who are committing those mistakes. So we can't actually blame the players always. Of course, players have to take some responsibility, they have to be accountable, but he's the one who's making the decisions. He should have that contingency plan.
Yeah, I completely agree with this point. I just want to point out, we've always said that, Oli's been very good at man management. He's been very good with with developing our academy players. But we really think about it, other than Greenwood, who is said to be a generational talent, uh, who has he really, developed
No,
into
I think it's not about developing the academy players, it's more about giving them the opportunities. We gave
giving them
Brandon
the
will
opportunity?
I think
Exactly.
we gave
That's what I
Brandon
mean.
Williams a lot of games. I think he was our backup fullback, like not even left back, right back. He was our
Yeah.
backup fullback. He got the minutes. But yeah, I mean, we can't actually give the whole credit to Oli. Of course, he has done something,
No,
but at the
definitely.
same time, academy managers and coaches also have done something.
Exactly. And not only that, when you are a professional footballer, what you want is you want to have a manager who rewards the effort you put in the training session. Now, obviously, we don't know what happens in the training sessions. That's all for the manager to decide. But with Fred and McTominay putting in such stinkers of performances, it cannot be. And I refuse to believe that a player like Donny van de Beek, coming from the Ajax setup, doesn't put in a good enough training session to be in contention for a spot over McTominay and Fred. And I just refuse to believe that.
I totally agree, Priyan. I mean, yesterday also, I know that you didn't watch the whole game, but I think towards the 50th minute or 55th minute, Donny van de Beek was warming up on the pitch, and everyone was like, "Yes, he is finally going to come on the 60th minute." I was getting those vibes from, I think it was the year 2017 or 2018. I don't exactly remember the year when we came back after being down 2-0. The Pogba masterclass, the
The
Chris Smalling
Pogba
goal,
masterclass, yeah.
yeah, the 3-2. And coincidentally, it was my birthday, so I remember that match very well. So I think, yes, Donny van de Beek is coming on. He will perform like Paul Pogba did in 2017, 2018, whatever the season was. He came on very late. I think it was evident to everyone. And I know I'm not a I don't have the coaching badges, and I know I'm not a certified manager. But at the same time, we know the capability of a player. And like you said, after seeing how Fred and McTominay play, I think giving Donny van de Beek some chance is fair to Donny van de Beek. I think it's
Yeah,
fair to the whole team.
I don't think he can do any badly than what Fred and McTominay are doing. Like, they aren't doing anything.
At least I
You
think if Ole has something in his mind, like he must have a reason why he's not playing Donny van de Beek. Let him play. Let him, like, we can assess. Like
exactly, exactly,
fans
exactly.
have this notion
At
that
least
Donny van de
convince
Beek
the
is very good.
fans.
Yeah, exactly.
At least convince the fans that he's not good enough. Something. Even I would go on to say, even like, for example, what Mourinho did with Luke Shaw. He didn't like him and he made it very clear. Just do that. Don't be a two-faced person who's talking up Donny and saying that he's a very putting in the effort in the training sessions and very good lad, always keeps his head up, and they're not giving him chances at all to prove himself.
So Priyan, I mean you put in a very good point, but I'd like to ask you a question here. We all know about Glazers, those leeches, Abraham Glazer, Joel Glazer. So from what I understand of the Glazers' point of view, I don't think Ole is going to step down himself. If I am the manager tomorrow, I mean I would know that I can turn it around, so I wouldn't step down. People say, "Oh my God, Ole loves Man United, so he should step down," but I don't think that actually happens a lot. Uh, that's some extreme point, and I
Yeah, of
don't think
course.
Ole is at that point. So coming back to the Glazers point, I think it all comes down to the board, whether it is the Murto Fletcher duo or it's the Joel Avram duo. I think they have to take a decision ASAP. It's actually very toxic. I think it's more toxic than it was when Jose was the manager. So I think
I think
yeah, go on.
yeah, I think that decision, obviously they're very incompetent, and I'm not. I don't want to really get into how bad they are and what their faults are. We all know that. I want to just say that I think it's always in a very good place right now, simply because of the lack of options available. uh, there was the whole talk around Antonio Conte and after the Liverpool game, but I never really saw that happening. I uh, as as an owner, or as the director of a football team, you'd always want to get in a manager who is probably in it for the longer run. You wouldn't want to get somebody who's here for a couple of years, even if he wins the
Yeah,
title. Like,
yeah,
I
Priyan,
mean, I just what I'm trying to say.
totally understand. I mean, he left Chelsea after 2 seasons, and
Yeah,
after he left, there was a lot of things that had to be changed. He left Inter Milan, but hopefully, like coincidentally, Inter Milan did get a good coach in Zaghi. But with United, you can never be sure. I mean, Glazers will whatever, like they'll be in the shower and they think, "Acha, we'll do this. Okay, let's appoint this person." So I think
exactly.
so I
Yeah,
think
no, I
yeah,
completely
yeah.
agree.
I think if I mean what I think of the Glazers is that they won't sack Ole. They have a perfect scapegoat. Like nobody will blame Glazers
Exactly.
as long as Ole is the manager. the notion from every fan will be Ole out, Ole out. So nobody will talk about Glazers out much. Of course, we know that it's Glazers' fault, but at the same time, we would want Ole out, Ole out. So the trend will be Ole out, not Glazers out. So
Yeah,
they won't sack him. Priyan, if this happens, which I think it shouldn't happen. I mean, I've been a big Ole admirer, as have you, but I think it's time for a change. I back the manager. If he's the manager tomorrow, I'll back him. Like I'll not say that okay, get out of my club. I'll not abuse him. I've made up my mind that it's time for a change. But if Glazers don't actually change it, how do you think we go from there? Where do we go from there?
yeah. I think that's a good question, and it's also uh, like it's a very sort of complicated answer because uh, I don't know, or I don't really, I'm not a football manager, I'm not a football coach, so I wouldn't know, like, how to go about it. But I don't think that a formation change is the answer. Like for me, playing five at the back, it's probably not a sustainable formation for the squad that we have right now. We have players like Pogba, we have players like Donny, we have players like Sancho, we have Greenwood, who all need game time, who are all young players. They need game time, they need to develop, and that formation is not helping them. That formation is not going to benefit them at all. So on and above that, we very rarely have three fit center backs. So that's going to be another problem.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I really wanted to talk about this centre back thing, but yeah, go on.
yeah, so I don't think a formation change is what is going to get Oli out of this rut. What could work is, now again, this comes to more in a man management sense, but these people, I'm not, I don't like to scapegoat players, but like a Maguire, Luke Shaw, McTominay, Fred, to some extent Rashford, although he's not played that much. These players, they are in the squad no matter what. Like for them, the spot is guaranteed,
It's
and
it's
I
like
think that
Ole's cutting them a huge amount of slack.
exactly, and I think that is playing a little on their minds in terms of they don't have to perform as well to cement their place in the squad, and that is where the complacency is coming from. If you look at the second goal that we conceded against City,
Oh
that
man,
we
don't
had
even start. Don't even
we had
start there. I mean, I was
we
so
had
frustrated
McTominay, we
after
had
that.
Maguire, we had Luke Shaw and De Gea, and they all were simply watching. McTominay let it go, Maguire let it go, Luke Shaw let it go, and Bernardo Silva just went in from behind. And obviously, you could say De Gea was at fault, but come
If
on,
it
man,
if
like
it if it
show
wasn't
some
for De Gea, we would be losing 5-0,
4-5
6-0.
0
So
easily,
so
very easily.
I wouldn't put it out on David De Gea, but
I agree. I agree.
others have to do well.
Exactly, and this is where this is not even like it's not even some tactical insight or some tactical brilliance. It's obvious if a ball is coming in, whoever it is, if you're the first man, second man, clear it. It's in your own D.
And it's
Clear
not
it, and
like
if
it's a coaching issue. I mean, it's a common sense issue. It's a common sense
exactly,
thing.
yeah, exactly, and like for this example, like you could say all he is to blame for the way they're set up, but what is he supposed to do when when a ball is coming into the D and the defender is not clearing it? Like, what is he supposed to do? This is at a
Priyan,
professional level at United.
this reminds me of the famous Roy Keane quote: "Leopards don't change their spots." Do you think it's that? Do you think it's that?
It's it's I think they can change, but they need that kick up their backside to
No,
tell them
no.
that
Roy Keane said that when Mourinho was sacked, Roy Keane said Leopards don't change their spot. The way
uh,
these players put under the bus, they'll do the same thing to Solskjaer. So do you think
I I don't think, man.
it's
And that would be really sad to see like that happen.
because I think it's something that, for example, if it is the thing, I'm not saying it is the thing, but if it's the reality today, they don't want to play under Ole. Fine, they perform badly, and Ole gets sacked. Tomorrow, a new manager comes in. they don't like him, they'll do the same thing.
Yeah, who's to
Is
say this
is
could go
this
on forever? And when you're giving too much, the player cannot be the biggest person in the team.
and that's what
Your
happened under
your
Mourinho, I think.
manager, exactly, your manager has to have some amount of respect and some amount of say in, like, he has to carry himself in that manner. And I don't think that is the case with United, because uh, these are all very cultured footballers, Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire,
Yeah, I'm
they're
not
all
blaming them.
cultured
I'm just
footballers.
saying
No,
what
yeah,
might be happening. I'm just
yeah.
putting out some
So
alternatives.
I'm really hoping that's not happening. But I think they all need a kick up their backside. I think what is sort of in favor of for them is that there is no real replacement. You could say Telles could play and play the Luke Shaw, but is he that good? Who would you replace Maguire with? If you're not playing Fred and McTominay, who do you play in the midfield? Uh, Rashford again. Who do you play against him? Wan Bissaka, you don't have a backup right back. Dallo is really poor. So they have that sort of sense of security that their spot is not threatened, but they really need all he needs to figure out a way in which he uh, tells these players, and he makes sure that these players understand that their spot is not secured. And if they don't perform the next game, they are going to be dropped. I think you will automatically see a change in performance.
I think Priyan, I think it's all happening bad at the same time. It's all going to bad at the same time.
Yeah,
Manager isn't competent enough. I think I would say that the coaches aren't at the best for at the United level. The
I
players aren't performing well.
I wouldn't say competent enough. I think they would love to be competent enough. It's just the lack of. It's just a difference in class, you could say. You just
I think
see
Priyan,
the way Pep talks about football,
yeah,
the way Klopp talks about their philosophy, the way I
there's
very
a
recently on Twitter.
there's a difference in intelligence, I think, towards football.
Yeah, I mean these people. Very recently, I saw this video on Twitter where Ralph Ragnick, who were apparently rumored with, is talking about how a manager should have, like he should have a pattern of play, and so he was saying that according for a manager to instill in his players a way of playing, like a pattern of play, he should have the perfect game like a video in his head, and he should know what exactly is happening. And I, do you really? I don't think Oli has that. I don't think Oli knows what the pattern of play is, what he wants from his players, and that is why you see such lack of sort of direction in the game, where uh, Jadon Sancho doesn't know if he should press the player or no. If Bernardo Silva is making a run, nobody knows who is to cover him. It's just that it's just a difference in class. And like I said, like we mentioned before, Oli has transitioned our squad from a, an okay squad to a very very good squad with match winners in every position. Now if a manager with a definite style of play, who knows what he wants from each and every position and each and every player, comes in and drills these players with thinking that way, that you have a set pattern, you practice those patterns, and once that happens, I think this team can achieve wonders. And that is why I think Oli has to go.
Yeah, like I used the wrong word, competent enough. I'm sorry, but I do think that there's a, like I said, the football intelligence isn't at the level of Pep and Klopp.
Yeah,
It takes time. I understand, but it's not working out for him at United. I'm sorry, but it's not working out. Of course, if he's the manager till the end of, I'll back him. I'm not saying I'm not abusing him, but from a fan's point of view, I do think that it's time for change. And I think this last point that I'd like to mention is that under Sir Alex Ferguson, we saw that the coaching staff used to be upgraded a lot, refreshed a lot. We saw at a time when Reen
yeah,
Mulestein, I'm sorry, Carlos Queiroz was there at a time, Mike Phelan was there at the time. So I think uh, we saw Carrick and McKenna since the Mourinho days. I'm not saying they're bad coaches, but I think we need to have more experienced coaches in this coaching staff and in the
I
backroom
agree.
staff. We have Phelan, okay, fine. He is an experienced assistant coach. He knows football, but it's not working out. Refresh it, upgrade it. Solskjaer is the manager, fine. Keep him as the manager. Keep Phelan, Carrick, McKenna. I'm not saying don't keep them, but keep bringing in more experienced coaches. We brought in Eric Ramsey. I know initially we were doing well, but now we are flunking a lot with set pieces. But it takes time, I understand. But as a fan, it makes us frustrated whether Eric Ramsey is the correct man for the set piece coaches. We don't know. So I think it has to be there if Solskjaer stays. And I mean, my brain says it's time for change, but my heart still says that he can do it. We can win the
And that's
Champions
always
League.
going to be there, man. It's always going to be there. It's Oli, man. He's
But
our baby face
you know,
assassin. He's
I always feel that he lift the UCL with us, and the commentator will go, and Solskjaer has won it yet again. So that's something that I really wish should happen, but who knows what our board does, what United does, and what the luck has for us. So Priyan, any parting words to that you have? Anything that you would like to conclude with?
just that to all United fans out there, don't disrespect the manager. He is. I'm not supporting him or anything. You could have your opinion. You could want him to be not be a manager anymore, but uh, we are United fans. We're not Arsenal fans. We support our manager till the end, and let's continue doing that.
Yeah, I mean, be kind, don't abuse. Be kind, don't abuse, and that's all that we'd like to say. And we don't know what the future holds for Manchester United men's team. Anything can happen in the international break. Maybe tomorrow the manager changes, or maybe tomorrow Joel Glazer comes out and says we are selling United, and we'll be putting the champagne on ice. So anything can happen. And until then, we are the United Star. Do subscribe to our channel. Check us out on our Instagram and Twitter handles. And we'll see you next time. Stay safe and take care.